When war was declared in September 1939, the world shifted. This country was changed forever, and in many ways the people living here were inhabitants of what is now a lost land. But there are, it turns out, pathways back. Even as the sirens were going off and families were being torn apart and the lights were turned off, a vast national register was being compiled. This is a detailed picture of a people on the eve of war. This is the story of the 1939 National Register. In 1939, as Hitler's army expanded across Europe and Britain's attempts at appeasement seemed doomed to fail, Britain prepared for war. Shelters were erected, buildings were sandbagged, and children were evacuated from the cities. The Women's Land Army was reformed, and air raid precaution wardens were trained. In anticipation of a terrifying aerial bombardment, the whole of Britain faded into darkness. As Chamberlain's voice rose over the wireless, Britain waited for the conflict to begin.
This country is at war with Germany.
Much has been written about the Allied action and the bravery of the home front, but alongside heroism and resilience, every war requires a great deal of administration. To organise ID cards, ration books and later conscription, the British government needed up-to-date information on the whole of the civilian population. Britain wouldn't survive without it. And so on the 29th of September 1939, one of the most important documents in modern British history was compiled. On a single day, the details of 41 million people in every home and every institution in the country were recorded. In a time before digital technology, the scale of the undertaking was spectacular, but it's the detail the record reveals which is most fascinating. You can search for names and addresses, explore maps, and discover the details of lives and places which were about to change forever. How did the war change your world?